long run nutrition set up for the next couple of weeks. We are 1 week away from Toronto Marathon 2024, and I wanted to do a quick sort of talking video on fitness. So this is so we're going to be jumping around some of the data analysis that I use off Strava and Garmin to help me with my training. So this number here, 94, again, it's just an individual number. Not using this to flex or anything on anyone or anyone. I actually don't know what other people's numbers are. I've never compared. So I have no idea what this number means really outside of my personal context. So take that with a grain of salt. But this is my Strava data for as far as I can remember using Strava, or at least having a Garmin and having it uploaded. So it goes all the way to 2013, all the way to 2024 now. And you can see a general increase in my fitness, which is kind of nice to see. You can see some seasonal trends, kind of dips down in the winter, peaks in the summer, dips again in the winter, and keeps going up and up and up. You can see from 2022 to now there's been a steady increase, a less of a dip in the winter, and then another steady increase up in this summertime. So 2022 was when I did my sort of first marathon build. Did 2 marathons that year. That's probably right around here. May half, and then Hamilton. And then I did a couple of winter events. And then this year, again, same thing. May half. Then I did Grandma's in June, and then have been building up for the last 12 weeks, 11 weeks into Toronto. So zooming in the last 2 years. Yeah, you can see it kind of dropping down in the winter. And then last summer, I kind of just took it easy, had fun, did some short stuff, cycled, dipped again in the winter, probably picked up here for the Canadian Ski Marathon, and then was able to bring it up for the spring, and then the summer, and then gradually brought it up over the summer and into now. So this 94 number is kind of the highest I've seen, or at least 100. It's the highest I've ever seen, ever. And yeah, I've been able to keep that up for the last little bit. The thing with fitness is that it's accumulated over time with your heart rate and relative efforts. But what you have to also account for is your fatigue level. So by doing activities, workouts, you're able to build up your fitness, but your fatigue goes up. So if I was to run a marathon today, I don't think I'd do super well because I'm pretty tired. And that's what form is. It's the difference between your fatigue and your fitness. So what you want really is taper down to not lose too much fitness, but for your fatigue to certainly drop and your form to increase. So trying to get your form up into, I don't know, your teens or the 20s would be nice. If I look back, yeah, you can see here, maybe if I go to the last 6 months, you can see here My fitness drops going into Grandma's marathon, but my fatigue drops as well, and then my form increases. So right before Grandma's, my fatigue was 43, form was 26, fitness was 69. So I can see my fitness dropping maybe another 5-10 points over the next week. But hopefully with some decreased intensity and volume, I can get my fatigue to drop and my form to increase. So that's one metric that I look at. Again, kind of individual number, take it with a grain of salt. It's not like I tailor my workouts to try to factor these numbers in or to improve or decrease them. Something else that I look at is at Garmin. Big thing I look at here is so this is an interesting peaking. I've probably seen this maybe 2 or 3 times in the couple of years that Garmin has been using this kind of platform. But I'm a week out from my race, so this is a little bit early to be peaking. Yeah, kind of fun thing to look at. Running, I look at lactic threshold. Yeah, so currently I'm supposed to be, it's funny. Yeah, my most current lactic threshold is about 4 minutes, 4:02, with a heart rate of 176. And if you look at that over the last year, I'm kind of at the highest point. So this is 410, 407, and I'm about a 402 right now. So that's basically the heart rate and effort you could hold for about an hour. So like a lactic threshold is like kind of like an FTP type effort number. So that's been improving, which is good to see. VO2 max really hasn't changed for me over the past year. It's pretty steady. So lactic threshold is something that I look at. Race predictor is another fun thing to look at. I find these are pretty conservative numbers for me. So it's right now projecting a 3:08 marathon for me, so a 4:28 pace. So when I ran half marathon in May, I ran a 124, high 124. And so it was projecting like a 129, 127 for me. So I was able to take 4 or 5 minutes off there. So hopefully I can take a few minutes off of the marathon predictor that they're giving me here. But again, you can see a general increase over the past year, which is nice to see. You can even go back a year. You can see that it dips down in the winter, picks back up as I run a little bit more. The last time I did a marathon build was 2022. I ran at Hamilton, which was the beginning of November. So I was projecting a 3:12 for me there. Yeah, 3:13. And I was able to run a 3:06 then. So again, a little bit conservative, but those are the numbers there. Training has been going pretty well. I use, if you don't know, VDOT is an interesting website. You punch in your distance, your goal time, gives you your paces. So your race pace for me that I want to be hitting is 4:14, 4:15 a kilometer. Then it'll give you your threshold. So, they're wanting 4 minutes. I'm a 4:02 right now. That's my threshold. Pace, your intervals for doing sessions at the tracks are kind of written down here. And so I've been able to hit most of these, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, my typical intervals are around that 3:40, 3:37-ish mark for 800s and 1200s. And then so training, how has that been going? So it's been 11 weeks So I started running again after I came back from my cycling trip. I built up for about 3 weeks, just adding small mileage every week. And then I had a bit of a cut down week. And then I've been happy for the last 5 weeks, kind of hovering around 70, 75 kilometers for the last 5 weeks. This week, just felt tired from running, so I haven't ran very much. But the key workouts that I really started to feel pretty good at, and I guess that's another indication of fitness, it's your heart rate and the effort and your paces that you're able to hit. So I did a track session here, 4x1200s at that 340 pace, and I felt pretty good about that, pretty felt controlled. So it was good. And then I had zone 2 a workout here, going under 5-minute kilometers for 18K, and that felt really well controlled as well. One big thing that I've kind of changed, or at least tried to be aware of, was structuring my long runs a little bit better, and that's sort of direct advice that I've gotten from a running friend of mine. So trying to hold, like not just like easy running it, but to kind of be a bit more cognizant about trying to hold zone 2 or low zone 3 efforts, and certain paces that I wanted to hold there. I tried to do a bit more structured, so did a 5K progression there to get to marathon pace. Did 305 3 times 5 kilometers at marathon pace in that one. This was a progression one again, and then this was trying to hold that zone 3, and I believe this was a marathon paced run as well. So for the last 4 weeks here, 5 weeks, I've had some pretty good long runs. And then this one here was just a medium long run, getting ready for the week of tapering. So this has been running, but the beauty of having access to multi-sports is that when I'm not feeling like running, I was able to ride my bike, go for a swim. I tried to be disciplined and not ride my bike too much, but I did get in a group ride here about 2 weeks ago, a group ride last week, some swimming, and then group ride. And then that one sort of taper week from running, I ended up riding 3 or 4 days in that week. So, but really that's all cumulative fitness. And I think it's helped me get to the sort of the highest fitness number that I'm seeing. So if I actually take away cycling from this, my number does drop from the mid 90s to mid 60s. And if I can go back, it's probably similar to what my fitness would be comparatively earlier in the summer. But if you throw in my other activities, that number does jump, and these stay a little bit lower because I wasn't riding as much then. So feeling pretty confident going into a week from now. Never know what race day is going to bring, but a week of tapering. I think we have sort of a practice session on Wednesday, just like 3K at marathon pace. Might do a little bit of a faster effort on Monday just to move the legs, but no swimming, no cycling, and just going to rest up and give it everything for race day.